Check it, check it, check it, check it, check it. So let's see. Hello. So just want to see if audio is working. Hello, Simon, Leo, hello. Okay. Can you hear me great? I think you can. Perfect audio. Audio is working. Thank you so much. So, yesterday I made a test live stream of CADing. Greetings and Sifu, hi. And I learned so much from the chat. So, Simon the cover. I'm CADing as well. Let's draw together. Oh, then we can keep each other company. That's awesome. Oh, by the way, I'm actually going to export a step file if someone wants to follow. I'm just gonna begin by exporting a step file to my desktop, just for fun. Good morning, howdy from Australia. Hey yo. Yeah, so I've learned so much yesterday, and I was like, oh, this was so awesome. The chat gave me so much great suggestions yesterday, so I'm like, I want to finish this part today. And I was thinking, let's do another stream, because it was awesome yesterday. Yeah, procrastination from Jugens Theo is a big issue, but we have to learn to deal with it. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna share the CAD design in the chat if someone is interested in opening it up and following along. Here it is. I'm just gonna put it publicly shared files. I'm putting it here. Just gonna post a Dropbox link. So if and perhaps later I can update the shared model. Modeling with a global support base is the future. I learned so much yesterday. If someone wants to open the step file, I just put it in the chat. And I think I will share maybe a fusion design later when we have gotten a little bit further. I think we can finish this part now. So, Fredrik, jag förstår dansk. Det här är så hyggligt. Gott vidare, Martin förstår dansk. I understand Danish a little bit. Yeah. Hello from Texas. So yesterday's stream, as I keep repeating, was very efficient because I got some amazing suggestions. The most famous one from yesterday was to make the marble path with the pipe command. In hindsight, really, really, really obvious solution. I just totally forgotten that the pipe command existed and could allow another type of paths than the sweep command could. So that was such a wonderful moment. And this morning when I'm looking at the design, I think this design is awesome. I love how the parts are tilted in the front here. And today we're gonna finish it together. So, okay. Please make the internal corners of the marble track sharp so that the force direction is well defined when the marble sits in the corner. Yes, Steffi38, you're absolutely right. they are as sharp as they can be. The little fillet there is 0.1 millimeter removal of material. That's basically just removing some wood fiber from fraying. So they are as sharp as they can be for now. Okay. Will you stream the CNC machining? I would love to if I had the camera. I have to set that up first. So, okay, I thought we can start with something fun, and I'm going to optimize this part on the backside here. And I have all the screws ready, so I can measure them to see how we're going to attach it. Because this mask, the Majoran mask, I don't know that reference, but someone in chat yesterday said it was a Majoran mask, is too large. It doesn't have to be this big, so let's start with cleaning that one up. And yesterday, I'm not always reading chat because I'm going to try to work efficiently. But yesterday, when I made a mistake, chat kept just repeating the same thing until I saw it. So it kind of worked out in the end, even though maybe it was a little bit frustrating, perhaps before I saw it. It's a game from Zelda series, yeah. I played Zelda on Nintendo Entertainment System, 8-bit. Draw the whole map of the whole game. My friend played, I drew the map. That was the gold cartridge. I loved that game. So you see down here, we have the 2 holes for the screws. And I'm going to position one of the hole above here instead. So we're gonna have one here, and this one goes away. So we want both holes to be 2 millimeters. So I'm using the equal command. And then I want both holes to be on a certain distance from the midline between the circles. So I'm gonna add a dimension. Let's try 14. We're going to change that later because it depends on how the screws will stick out on the front side. So let's try 14. And then you can see we don't need all this material in the bottom. So I'm just gonna delete this and see. We should make a round or a square part. Actually, on the CNC machine, it's so much easier with square parts. So I'm thinking to go a little bit cubism here. And just make fillets in the corners, perhaps. I think that is going to look more utilitarian. So here was something else that the chat kept telling me yesterday, to use the fillets inside the sketch rather than to add a fillet feature outside the sketch. So now you can see we have the nice rounded bottom corners, and I think we're just going to do the same above. Matt Kakashi, am I the only one who prefers SolidWorks to Fusion 360? No, there is a lot of people in the CAD team begging me to move to SolidWorks. It's definitely has a little more pro. I've never tried it, but it has a little more pro vibe, I guess. Fusion 360 can really do a lot, but I think SolidWorks is... I never tried it, but you're not the only one. So I think still this part is a little bit too high. Let's see if we can lower this line. We'll make that 20 as well. Now we have a nice symmetrical part. Look at that. That is much more efficient, I think. So I'm gonna make a clean midline here and remove some other lines that we had before. Good morning, Dylan. SolidWorks is so powerful. Yeah, I'm a Mac user, so I have like I'm using PC for the electric motor of the Marble Machine X, and I'm using PC for the CNC machine. And I just have to get over that hurdle and get a real powerful PC to really properly try SolidWorks. Schmachtel, I really like the idea to unstuck the marbles by pushing them up again. Question is though if it's done possibly at all the marbles or then the other moving piece of the gate gets stuck. So the marble queue is so heavy so it can only travel in one direction. Why are these lines blue? I'm just going to add some constraints until these lines stop being blue. Why are they actually blue? No. Because I know chat is not happy with me if I leave lines blue, and you're absolutely right about that. I don't see where I'm going wrong at the moment. Maybe this one has to be... So these live streams is a lot of me thinking out loud, staring blankly at a computer screen. It's riveting content. It's this dimension that is missing. I think I deleted something. No. I'm gonna ungreen that line and this dot. Okay, I'm just gonna green everything. I'm cheating. Now things are not moving anyway. A little bit of cheating is okay. So why are these two rings not black? I think perhaps it needs to be... Yes. So this little hole here, it looks like it's on the line, but it's not constrained to the line yet. So when I constrain it to the line, it turns black. Let's have a look at how this looks in its extruded form. Edit feature. Deselect this. I'm missing some lines. You can already see this looks more engineering, I think. But I'm missing some sketch lines. No, I'm not. The sketch was hidden. Okay. So sometimes in the extrusion command, it was there. Okay. So this is the shape we want. Oh, I forgot to deselect the holes. That's a beautiful plywood piece. It will be easy to attach tabs on the CNC machine on these straight edges here that I can remove with the disc sander. And I don't think we're using more material than necessary. So now we can check from these holes where the screws will end up on the front side, because I'm gonna run the screws through the middle of these two plywood pieces. Voltaic, watching you design stuff in Fusion 360 is nice while I do the same. That's nice. Martin, please use resins or plastics instead of plywood, will you? No. Plywood. I love plywood. Have you seen the video A Love Letter to Plywood? I'm gonna find it and paste it in chat. It's by this artist, A Love Letter to Plywood by Tom Sachs. He has a lot of sponsored. Love Letter to Tom Sachs. I'm gonna find the original because he put up on NASA. This is maybe the original. Yeah, this is the original. Okay, I'm posting the Love Letter to Plywood. So resin plywood is just my home base. It's just the material I have at home. I have the CNC machine to make it. I am confident that I can solve the whole marble machine using a lot of plywood. I actually want to use more plywood. I want to skip the acrylic on the fish stair. I want to move away from plastic where I can. If I encounter... You've seen the Marble Heights modules from Rosero and Andrew Shore. I'm thinking that's maybe really nice as a 3D print. Okay, I'm going to go back to the task at hand here. So now we're going to go and look at these parts. And I'm going to project these screw holes. I'm going to create a sketch. What are you seeing? Ah, you're seeing this, good. Let's do it on the origin plane. That doesn't really matter. There. So I'm gonna project these two screw holes. There and there. Boom. And then hide all the other pieces. And my sketch is gone. No, it's here. I'm just not seeing it. So these are the two screw holes, and now I'm going to do a square, a center rectangle on the center of these holes, which will be cut out from the plywood. And my screws are 4mm, and I want this to be a through hole. I don't want the threads to touch the plywood here. I just want it to be held in a very secure place, and I don't want the screws to split the parts. So I'm going to make the sides of this square 4mm. So let's do another one the same. Center rectangle. By the way, if the stream dies, it's my computer crashing. It didn't crash yesterday. I was so happy. I have a lot of like total dead, you know, the blue death or what it's called on PC. I have those all the time for some reason. I have to look into that. So that's our holes, and now we're gonna cut the screw holes through these two pieces and see where these screws would end up on the front side. And then we can move the holes until it makes sense. So let's just cut straight through. That looks pretty cool. And what is nice with this design is that if you remember in the earlier designs, I had the screws where the marbles were. And in this design, the screws are not inside the marble path, which makes the marble path cleaner and just removes another failure point. I wanted to avoid double-sided machining. I couldn't. This will take double-sided machining, but I will accept that. Yeah, so fill in, have a good pointer. Don't use sink head screws, they will push the plywood sandwich apart. I've been looking closely at that, and the thing is I'm gonna make at least 19 of these. So I need to have 38 screws. It would be super neat with a kind of M4 hex bolt with a washer. I agree with you. However, the sandwich is being held in the other direction with screws. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use sink head screws, but I'm going to use a washer as well. So that will not create that pushing apart. On the other hand, the screws that goes from the side to the other side are too strong to allow the plywood to be pushed apart. And I actually don't need, when I put these screws in, I actually don't need a lot of torque to hold the PMA pipes. When I can use a cheaper hardware, I find it a little bit of an engineering pride to not throw money away on hardware. I think if I can use a cheaper one and also one that is made for wood, I want to use that. So flathead wood screws would be the best of two worlds solution. Okay, so I think this top hole looks positioned perfectly. I'm gonna measure the length, what we have from the front here to the back here, 35. So I have one screw length I have is 35. Is that my shortest? That's not so good. Okay, then we can build up the surface maybe. But I don't want to add material here. Yeah, the flathead would be to not push these apart. So the position of this hole looks a little bit off. I would rather have it here in the... It would make more sense if it was higher up here. So let's see if we can move the lower hole upwards and watch this move automatically. I have CAD'd this parametrically, so I should only have to move the hole in the first sketch, and that should move everything else. I'm actually really excited for this part. I think it's so much better. So check this out, 14 millimeters. Let's do 8. Finish the sketch, and my square hole have moved. I did it right. So that position makes much more sense seeing it from the front, right? That we have it on this kind of flat section. And I still think we have enough wood between the holes there. Hypervectra, I love the magnetic marble lift. Me too, but I do want to remove it from the machine. Next time it makes an issue for me, I'm gonna take a baseball bat to it. So far, right now, it works great. So, the top square hole intersects with the other hole. The sunk screws will mostly be under a shear force, seemingly. No worries about D-lam taking them away. In that case, since not a lot of screw tension is required to keep it tight. That's actually true. The sideways pressure from the flathead is not a lot. So let's create some nice countersinks in these parts. I'm gonna isolate them again. So let's try to make this neatly if we can. So I have to think about how this will be machined. It's going to be machined like this. Ah, this is what you mean. Was this what you mean? Intersects with that hull. Very good, pointed out. How did you see that? So here we have two screws colliding. We can't have that. I wanted to remove this top screw, but I'm not sure I can or should. I don't think I can. So we have to move that one up or move the hole down. No, this hole needs to go up, making the design a little bit higher. I don't like that, but we have no option. Fusion is thinking. Skybots says, this is cool to see. I know nothing about engineering, but it's cool to see this happening. That's fun to hear. I'm learning the hard way from my own mistakes. So, unisolate all. Let's head back to beginning of the timeline. No, that's not the sketch I want. I'm clicking on the wrong sketch all the time. This is the sketch I want. So this hull sits too low now for this design. I kind of feel I'm making a big disservice to make the design higher, because, you know, in yesterday's video I talked about the clearance. I actually don't want to make the design higher, which means that I need to move this hole down. So let's try that instead. I think that's a better route. Let's do symmetric. Let's do 8 in this one as well. Getting a little bit tight with wood here around at the top. No, it's 8mm. This is no problem. This is no problem. So now this hull ended up at almost the worst possible location. But perhaps if we make... Oh, but the screw was too short, so that's a good... Perhaps if we make a really deep, nice countersink, it will look cool. So now we have moved, as you can see, they are not intersecting. How did you see that? Eagle eye. Eagle eye. That was super. Chat is already helping me. That's great. Make the PMMA connector top hull match bottom. Then PMMA connector is symmetric again, and you don't have to worry about getting it upside down. Duck in my squee. Brilliant suggestion. That was actually what just happened. So they're both 8mm from the middle. And you're right. It goes on either way, which is just helpful with assembly. Great point. Okay, so let's make some really nice countersinks here. I can use the same sketch. So the screw head of the screws are 7.5. Don't know if you can see that. All right, never mind. So I'm going to make the countersink perhaps 8mm. That will also, I'm using a 6mm ball end bit to cut this, and with 8mm that will be enough space for the ball end to enter to cut this. So I'm just gonna extrude this like this. I think it's a pretty... Look at that. That looks cool, actually. I think that looks really cool. So if I choose to extrude to the back of this wall, what's happening now? And then I can add a distance. Then we have something under control. Minus 20. No, I did it wrong. Laser beam. Slip and slide staircase. Name idea. I'm just gonna do this countersink now. So that's 18. So when I countersink too long, we have this fragile material there. So maybe I shouldn't go. And also the screw is too long. So maybe I should just go up to the... kind of go up to the surface there. And then I'm gonna fillet the edges to remove all the weak material. Like plywood can't be too thin. So you see these two edges are kind of thin right now. Let's just see if, yeah, this is gonna look awesome. Oh, that looks cool. This is going to look engineered. Haha. I'm gonna get copyright striked by this Norwegian composer if I keep singing that song. If we're above 35 millimeters from here to here, we're home and dry. 38 millimeters. Amazing. Thomas Sherrington, so this is why I never see your streams. They're at 3:45 in the morning. Hope you're having a nice night. I'm going to stream other times as well. I'm just improvising and iterating. It just happened to be in the morning now. I think I'm gonna make some evening streams as well. Washer size from Oliver Sullivan. Brilliant. Okay, because if we do a washer there, that's gonna look really engineered. I don't want to remove so much material so we start to weaken the marble path, but I don't think we're close to that yet. Hall of the Mountain King is public domain from Onai. Use washer size for the countersink. That's a great idea. Let me run downstairs and get some washers. You have to play nicely among yourself in the meanwhile. I have my washers downstairs. Wilson can host the stream while I'm gone. What? That's not working. There. Good, Wilson. Hold the fort. Next time I'm gonna get a stand so Wilson can be standing for me while I'm running and getting things. Okay, we have 2 washer sizes. The coolest one would be the larger one. That is 12 millimeter. I doubt we can accept that. I think we're gonna start to get too close to the marble lanes. Let's do 12 just for fun. Yeah, let's look at this. This is, I think, the time when you need to do an intersect analysis. I almost never use that, but that's the correct tool. If we hide one body. So it's hard, like, from here to tell how thin this plywood wall would become with the large washer. So what you do then is inspect section analysis from this wall, and then you can go in like this. Now it looks like we're really doing engineering, right? So I'm gonna swipe this wall until we find the tightest part there, and I'm gonna measure that. Leave minimum 0.5 millimeter clearance around the washer. Yeah, that would make this worse. So everything points to the smaller washer. Small washer, small problems. That's what. So how can I measure in the section analysis? This is annoying. Okay, for 5 millimeters, I'm not comfortable with that. Kind of 5 millimeter. That's just annoying. So we've done an educated decision. Where can I put the analysis of here? And we're gonna go with a smaller washer, which you almost will not be able to see. The smaller washer is 8.8 millimeters, which means I'm going to be happy with a 9 millimeter countersink. Okay, thank you for that idea. Perhaps this fillet is overkill, but it looks so much larger in CAD. The radius is like 3 millimeters. .5 looks a little bit more. Just adding a radius on the back side as well. This is going to look absolutely legit. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm gonna show you the screw head with the washer. Yeah, you know what a washer is. You know what a screw head is. Brilliant. So let's do the lower countersink. I think the smaller washer is going to look better, actually. Let's kind of do the same design on this one. Oh yeah, I should use the same fillet command. I was about to... So what happened now is that I made a fillet on the top, and then I almost made another fillet command on the bottom. And that's bad practice, because we already have a fillet command, and I can just also choose the edges of the lower countersink. Apart from this edge that is created... Let's see if I can Will some points. That edge doesn't need to fill that. Look at this. I think this looks legit. Voltaic. You could also use normal cylinder head machine screws and drill a hole through. The nuts on the PLA holder shouldn't be a problem. Wood screws are bad for disassembling it often. Yes, true. In my heart, I hope I don't have to disassemble it often. And the tolerances in the holders, I think I could screw it and unscrew it at least 200 times without the plywood losing the grip. It's again, birch plywood in the correct direction can take a screw several times, but I agree with you. But if I can skip hardware parts, the best part is no part. So we are getting somewhere here. I'm gonna hide that sketch. So I can't tell you how pleasing it is to have the screws in the middle of the design now, not inside the marble paths. I think that feels just awesome. Save. The countersink is not deep enough. Now you increase the diameter from Tom England. The washer will poke out the top. You're right. That will not look nice. That is not the look we actually would like here. We would like an enclosed washer with wood all around it. Poking out of the top is not ideal. However, we don't have a lot. 38 plus the washer. Okay. I guess you're meaning on both instances, actually. But the deeper we go, the closer to here we come. No, I'm going to accept this. It's going to poke out. Like, I can CAD the washer a little bit quick just to get a feel for that. Pretty minutiae, but hey. Yeah, I'm going to accept that look. I think it's gonna look okay. Love the attention to detail, though. I love when you suggest these tiny details. It's so great. Later we need to cut some material off there. So okay, so what to do next? Let's do that right away. So here again, you can see that we have in the bottom here, we have very thin plywood. On the last part I did, I removed that. You can see right here. So I'm going to do that with a sketch. I think I can use... No, I'm gonna create a new sketch actually just to make this simple for us. Or do I need that? No, I don't need that. Let's see if this works. A slot. Center to center slot. I'm going to try to be clean from the midpoint. Let's just hit 14 millimeters, 12 millimeters up. And I have to do this slot wider than my cutting tool. So it needs to be at least 6.1, but I think 8 millimeter might work. And now I think I don't have to extrude this. I think I can go back to when this part was created and just exclude. That was the wrong. Here. So this is the better way of doing it. So now I'm just excluding this part from the beginning of the extrusion. So again, timeline cleanliness, we're not using more commands than what we need. And that has already mirrored over to the other part. Should I fillet this or not? Maybe just for wood fray. But we are creating a very thin part here. Can I, because I can't fillet the backside. Yeah, that looks great. DFM, how will that countersink get out? Okay, now we have warning. Olof Kreske, look at the chat. How will you cut your countersink? It is not DFM. You will have to do triple machining. No, I will have to do double machining. And that is, I hoped with this design that I wouldn't have to do double machining. But I have accepted the fact that the middle parts have to be flipped. It's cut from the side like this. So if you think of this part lying down like this is easy to cut with a 2mm flat head. And this is trickier. This angle, this 90-degree angle here is trickier, yes. It's going to be a chamfer there. It's going to be at least a 2mm fillet. You're right about that. I can't reach in this 90-degree corner. But it's kind of a situation where it's going to be so small, so in plywood it's fine. It's just a countersink. But you're right. What I could do is that I could cut along this line with a 2mm flathead tool, which will leave a radius of just 1mm. But eagle eye again, you're right. I can't cut exactly this. It doesn't matter. So if there is a radius here, let's say it's even 3mm because I'm cutting with my 6mm ball cutter. The countersink will look like this, and the washer will sit a little bit on top of the plywood, and I'm fine with that. Perhaps we should make it just a little bit tiny bigger though. That could be a simple fix for that. So good pointed out again. We're gonna accept a 10mm. I'm just gonna give another 10mm. In the long run, it would only have resulted in the washer sitting a little bit on top of that fillet. But it's true. If you want to cut it flat, rotate the part 90 degrees and use an anvil. Yeah, that is the correct way to do it. I don't want to do triple machining. That is just too much. Or actually, once you set it up, yeah, maybe I even do that for fun. I'm not going to do it on the prototype, but maybe I'll do it on the real versions. We'll see. Why don't you constrain the washer size to a single variable? That's a good suggestion, but it's a tiny bit overkill for now because I'm just having two washers in the design, so it doesn't take. It takes more time to think about making it more efficient than. No, actually, you're right. Like, this whole stream is me saying, nice suggestion, but, and then thinking a little bit longer about it, and like realizing that you're right. Equal constraint, perfect. Thank you, chat. It's like I'm having 1,000 teachers. Brilliant. Thank you for all the nice words under Verrecken and Rubik's. So I do have a little bit of an issue with how the top part looks. Maybe you can chime in on that. Design by committee is always going to fail, but there is something about this fake ski slope that is not really rewarding. I'm thinking perhaps the angles should be sharper. Or maybe it's just the fact that we have one radius here and a completely other radius there. There is something about this that doesn't feel entirely correct. Luca Nervetti, please use the insert command and you can preview the screw. Why don't you use a single length screw? Then I would need to cut, I think, too close to the marble path on the under side. Insert, you mean to put apart from McMaster and Carr so you could see it. I just want to skip that step, so to just move ahead to the design. I think that's why I'm doing it. So this inner radius is 8. This inner radius is 11. Will this accept an 8? That looks wrong though. Perhaps we have to bring up here. We have to bring up the angle again here. I think that's maybe the issue. So I want this angle to be parallel with the angle down here. And then I want an 8 radius. I think the human eye is kind of very sensitive for variations, you know? So already that looks like better when we see it. The first inner radius mimics the second inner radius. Can this radius also be 8? Huh. I mean, it already looks better. It already looks more engineered. It would be nice if this path is parallel with that path. If I remove this constraint, maybe we can do that. No. It doesn't want to. Okay, now they're parallel. I'm gonna make them tangential. So this is a brief just cleaning up the looks of this front piece, because that's actually what we're going to look at all times. This reminds me of a Brontosaurus up here from Jurassic Park. It looks too high somehow. Ooh, maybe I can lower it to this. Maybe I can lower it to the mask height. Because now the screw hole, if we have this place for that. So I'm gonna project the top of the mask. It's all the way down there. Let's just have a quick look to see 4.5 millimeters. I think this looks better already. So all the parts changed now. I think the ski hill looks better. Our fillets died. I have to redo our fillets from scratch. .5. Martin staring blankly at a computer screen. So now what I wanted to check is if we have 4 millimeters to lower. It's going to be tight. From here to there. Oh, we have it. We actually have the place. See, we have 5.5 millimeter between these. I don't mind having the screws close to each other inside there. Doesn't matter. So we can take away the Brontosaurus. I never liked the Brontosaurus look. No curves, no triangle, go for zigzag. You want sharper. I was thinking about that as well. Perhaps it is. We're gonna have a look at your suggestion, because perhaps it's too rounded. Perhaps we should just go to the cutting bit tool radius and see if a real zigzag feeling would work. So this is real a zigzag. So we have the. It's actually nice to show the engineering thought behind this whole part in the design for the audience. But first of all, I'm gonna remove some height here. No more Brontosaurus. Fusion is crashing. I'm just thinking. I'm doing this a little bit messy. Oh, it looks better. It looks better. 6 millimeters, that's okay. That screw head will come pretty close to the edge. So this is the circle of the screw head, but I'm fine with that. It's not too close. Trim. The little trim command there. Num 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 num. I love that we have more clearance on the top. That broke the whole timeline, but I think it's because of this. Martin staring blankly at a computer screen, riveting. Content. How looks triangle? You want triangle? First of all, I broke a lot of things in the timeline. Why? Oh, that hole didn't follow also. I made a mistake there. This hole I have to fix. The pipe command doesn't want to play anymore. Why is that? Okay, so this was a case I just had to open the command and cut it again, and then it's happy again. Manage lost projections. Break link all. So now I'm just repairing the timeline. So what is this? I think this just need to be, yeah. So sometimes when things breaks, you just have to reopen them and recompute them, and everyone is happy. Yeah, that works as well. So triangle, I'm a little bit against the triangle. I would like to see the zigzag actually. Pipe command. Yeah, that was a big find from yesterday. First of all, let's fix what I have broken. This hole sits on its wrong place because this sketch. So this is a good lesson for us all, that this thing was not constrained to the projected point. So if this hole was only constrained to the projected point, this hole would have ended up correct position right away when I moved it down. I love that we got it lower. We have an important decision to make though. I can't fill at this corner. So this kind of makes me want to make this one, this top edge, not round. So it becomes like a, so they line up. Let's just look how that looks. It doesn't really matter. It's just this kind of OCD thing. When parts are kind of lining up, it's kind of annoying if they don't line up. It ruins the symmetrical, so compromises. You give some, you take some. Okay, what do you think? Is it worse? Round is fine. Front section now takes much of the fort. Brendan and Tanya Mills. I think it needs to be thicker than you have. Do you mean that the plywood is flexing? Because it's not. Want the lowest marbles collide with each other. Now they're exactly neck by neck, so they're not colliding. Better, worse. Worse, round is better. After seeing it, I think round is better. I'm gonna round is, that will actually look fine. The wood is also coming from different directions. This is fine. Going too much into details. So what I don't really follow now is why our slot I'm getting a little bit nervous now, because why is this slot not lining up? I have broken something. Huh. Have I moved the marble? Something is very wrong now. the wall. Oh, wait. I'm stupid. I've filled in too much when I redid. So I'm giving you the unbridled, I think it's called. This is what I've been doing for 3 years, you know. I'm just dragging away the curtains. Things are not going well. Here is the issue now. You know what? I just want to undo everything I've done for some time because I don't want to mess up this marble path. Somewhere, somehow, something moved. So here's the Brontosaurus. The Brontosaurus is coming back to us. I just want to go back here. And then tread a little bit more carefully because I broke too much things there. Hope you got infinite undo on. Is that a setting in Fusion? Zigzag look, Cybertruck look. So yeah, maybe I referenced it from that top or something. Christian Skjerning. No, I didn't get to the CNC part. There was so much other stuff I needed to take care of. So I didn't get to the CNC machine yet. I'm building up towards the CNC now. But we are making good progress. I just want to shave off this top without hurting the design. I'm going to move a little bit more carefully and see where it went wrong. Wrong sketch. I'm just going to start with moving the hole 4 millimeters down, so this will be 11. So that's okay. And I'm thinking about doing an ugly cheat, but chat will call me out if I do that. Manuel Coutinho. Yeah, I think the video will be up after the live stream. So let me try to redo what I did without removing those sketch lines. Perhaps it was just the extrusion that went wrong. So I'm going to do it a little bit uglier. I'm gonna leave everything up there. I'm just gonna chop it off like this. Remove the top. Now see, things go bad here. It's because of the... Wait, I should actually roll back the timeline. This is how you do it. Roll back the timeline to here. I edit this here, and then I go one step forward at a time in the timeline to just see where things go bad. Here things go bad. Because this sketch have changed? Why? Let me look at it now so I understand what is happening. Okay, I'm not going to give up. It's a little bit... It's not only a little bit annoying, it's a lot annoying. But I'm not gonna give up. I'm going to try to fix this in a proper way. First of all, I'm just gonna make a fillet here. I'm not gonna clean up this sketch. I'm gonna leave the Brontosaurus there for now. Make sure the holes on the other side follow the same path. Yes. So where I think things go wrong now is that this sketch, this one, is not projecting the way I projected it. So for some reason, just because I cut this part, this projection is not there. And that thing has moved because of it. I don't understand why. Yeah, it was projected. Oh, if we remove the projections. That's maybe not the neatest way to solve this problem, but I'm gonna undo the Brontosaurus removal. The Brontosaurus is coming back all the time. Now I'm heading into our sketch that is causing the issue. This sketch. I actually don't want to deal with it more now. So I'm going to remove all the projections. Can I do that with one command? Or if I make them green. Yeah, I got stuck up on the dinosaur. You know what? This is the kind of case where it's okay to cheat. I'm just gonna chop off the top of the dinosaur with a new feature. It's not the end of the world. Because we have more fun things to do than looking at broken sketches. So I'm just gonna go later in the timeline where everything is nice and chop it off now. It's not the best CAD practice, but it's a solution that will work. So I'm gonna create a new sketch. I'm gonna project this. I'm gonna project this. I'm gonna make a fillet. And the dinosaur will be gone. Come on. It doesn't allow me to choose the line. I think it's because I have two lines. I'm seeing two sketches. There we go. It doesn't allow me to fillet a projected line. Is that it? So if I remove the projection... Yes, that was the problem. Dinosaur head chopping time. Sorry for this excursion in non-functional. Now nothing is working. This is great. There we go. Not my proudest moment, but the CAD ends up the way we need it. Okay. I don't even dare to read chat right now. We don't need those aesthetics for prototyping. You're actually right about that. That's actually true. You still need some background music here at stream, Martin. Use hardwood. Plywood is garbage. Plywood is glued. Construction plywood is garbage. High grade BB birch plywood is, I wouldn't say garbage. Plywood is glued with the layer fibers in different directions, which gives it properties that hardwood doesn't have. Starting to look very, very nice, actually. I want to look at something. I want to look at some edges here, because if I do a fillet here, that will help me remove wood fray. So I'm going to do a fillet on all these edges, and it's going to be a very small one. 1 millimeter. The only reason I'm adding this fillet is because I want the ball and cutting bit to go there once and cut all the wood fray off. It is true that this fillet will affect the marbles a tiny bit, but it is really not enough for a reel. I would like to have I don't want to sand it, I want the CNC machine to do it. So 0.5 millimeters. And I'm going to do the same here. Like 2 millimeters. 1.5. That looks great. Love that. I want to do the same on the mid piece. One millimeter, boom. It's basically just a defraying cut. It will have minuscule or academic impact on the marbles, no problem. My point with all those things with the marble path is, if a difference like that would cause problems with the marbles, we have the wrong design altogether, because that means it's too sensitive. .05. Lidde, fan vad kul. Live idag igen. Ja visst, vet du. Det är vilda västern här på Wintergatan 2. Det är öppna säkerhetsventilen och bara tuta och köra här på Wintergatan 2. Nu för tiden. Det är bra att vi kan prata vårt hemliga vampyrspråk. This is great. We're absolutely getting somewhere. Let's look at the beautiful PMA holder. I'm gonna leave the aesthetics on the top for now, and now we're gonna go to do some real work. If you see the timeline below here, I have a timeline view. All these broken features that I'm showing you right now all these red and yellows. Most of them are from the old design, and I'm going to go through and delete them now. But some of them are actually very important because they are part of the other parts. So let's consider the top done for now, and let's start moving through the timeline and cleaning up the mess we have left from the earlier designs. Christmassy timeline. That's a good point from chat. When the timeline looks like a Christmas light string, you should attend to it. So I'm going to find out what all these sketches are. This totally looks like an old sketch that we don't need. Now this is a remainder from before. I'm going to delete that sketch. And these extrusion commands are just messing up everything we have done. They are also a remainder from previous. I think I'm gonna delete those. So let's move just one step ahead in the timeline and just see what these things are. So here's the old slot sketch. And probably the old slot extrusion feature, yes. So you can see it started to extrude there. We don't need that. So let's delete that. It's very satisfying to see that the resulting timeline is going to be maybe a fifth of the length I had when I started with these parts. You have uneven fillets. That's true. It's okay. We can look at that later. Construction plane. Here. And then a sketch. What sketch is that? This was a sketch for... So this is another sketch that we don't need. Let's delete that sketch. What is this extrusion feature? Let's delete that. By the way, can you confirm in chat? Someone said, hope you have infinite undo. Is that a setting in Fusion 360? Can you just confirm by saying yes, it's a setting? Because if it is, I would like to go there and look at it. When you remove a lot of old features, there's a chance of crash. I just saved. You're absolutely right about that. So here's more features. I don't see what they are doing. That's also some old sketch. This is because the previous design was CAD'd in such a bad way. So let's delete those features. Offset planes. I don't think I need these planes, but what is this sketch? Oh, this is the old Countersink sketch with its plane. We can delete that. Awesome. You're gonna see behind me soon. We're gonna see the end of the timeline soon, which is going to be great. Some extrusion feature, we don't need that. Some other extrusion feature, I don't even see what's happening with that. Delete. Okay, now we come to the things that we actually need, because now we're gonna start to cut down here. So here's a sketch, And here's an extrusion feature and a fillet. Ah yeah, it's this one. One error, no target body. Ah, that was declicked. There we go. So now you can see how we start to shape this. And here's a good lesson for you all. Can you guess why the left side changed but not the right side? I'm saying like Agad Matur chess channel. I'm gonna pause the live stream and give you 5 seconds to think about that. Undo Q settings infinite. It is a setting. Preferences. Where? Rowing Grunder, you had it right. Mirror. Okay, I'm gonna look at those preferences later. I can't find it now. So the reason the right foot is not mirroring the left foot is because this extrusion command is before the mirror symbol in the timeline. So, this is a good view. You will be able to see exactly what happens. So this is the extrusion. This is the extrusion feature. This is the sketch, and over here is the mirror feature. So if Fusion allows me to move them to the left of the mirror feature, voila, there we go. I forgot the fillet, so when I now pull the fillet to the left of the mirror feature, voila. Good. That was my best teaching moment for today. That is neat. Neat. Good luck, iTunes.85. Thank you so much. You should consider getting someone to forward chat suggestions to you so you don't miss out important suggestions. Yeah, that is great. I'm thinking of having Hannes on the stream, and then he can help me read while I'm working. Why not move the mirror to later in the timeline instead? Yeah, that's true. That is true. I'm gonna leave it where it is. Live streaming sound engineering in the future as well from Asterisk. Absolutely, that will be super fun. Live streaming music production and stuff. Let's continue cleaning up the timeline. Okay, this sketch I want. So now going to be the same thing. For some reason in this feature, we have to click this again. And then the cutoff here is correct, but it's not happening because it's later than the mirror. So I'm pulling it before. And eventually the mirror feature will be last. I'm scared of breaking things with the mirror, moving the mirror feature. I'm gonna try your suggestion right away. See if Fusion allows me. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I probably based some dependencies on the mirror feature being earlier. Okay, so there's a new part being created. It's this one. And there we have this part. So this part is going to be machined in another direction because I want these M6 bolts to screw into the wood cross grain. It's not filleted yet here, but I think the next feature in the timeline will do that. Yes. Let's hide this construction plane because it is visually annoying. Okay, we're getting there. Let's move one more in the timeline. A fillet feature. That's just disappeared. Here's my old mirroring features. You can see it screwed something up there. I can just delete them both. Delete, because I don't, otherwise I'm mirroring twice. And you're soon behind me. If I move, look at that. You see the end of the timeline. Greets from the Kazakhstani tundra. Hot chocolate is always good. I'll second that. So, in yesterday's video I talked about removing material from the marble gate. I'm soon getting there in this design. I'm just going to clean up the timeline, and that will be the next step to work on. Move, that's the marble. I want to move that feature. Here comes the PMMA pipes. They sit at the wrong place because something is wrong on this sketch. We have a yellow lost projection. I'm just gonna redo this sketch, I think. Why am I not seeing this nicely? I'm gonna isolate this so we can actually see what we're doing. So you can see there's some yellow lines here. I'm going to remove all this. Boom. And then I want to see our... I just need our PMA holder here. So I'm gonna project this whole thing. And then I'm just gonna redo the PMMA pipes. 22 OD, 18 ID. So I'm just putting them in so the design is obvious for us all. Redoing the sketch in the right place, that's cleaned up. And now I'm just going to edit the extrusion feature and extrude our pipes again. Nice. John Jackson. I think a small 2mm rebate in the main assembly for the pipes would prevent any misalignment problems. Two screws for the pipe holder are not enough. CNC it in. The thing, I think you mean to lock the pipes into the holder. The thing is that when we have the similar holder on the other side, so let's just, I can just illustrate this. When the other side of the pipes have the similar holder, the pipes are dead stuck. They can't move in any direction. This was my mistake on the previous design, that the pipes could rock around and shift. But when we have a similar holder on the other side of the pipe, regardless of the fit, the pipes won't move. So we don't need to clamp the pipes with screws or anything. Okay. Okay, so here comes a new part. It's this little part. This is kind of... I'm gonna hide all these sketches. So it's this little part here. It's a little bit of a sorrow with this design that I have so many plywood parts, but the advantages. So I have to machine like this super tiny little part, and here comes the last part. And we're actually done with the timeline. So in total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 individual plywood parts. It hurts a little bit, but the pros outweighs the cons. Pipes become fully constrained in the 3D space when fixed at both ends. Exactly. Wintergatan, do you have any mods for these live streams? I'm seeing a few issues that need addressing. I didn't start any mods yet. I heard a lot of suggestions about mods. I think it would be a great idea. There were several people on the Discord offering to be mods. I'm just doing so many different things, so I didn't really have time to think about it yet. So for today we will not have any mods, but it's a good idea for the future. Quick question, do you like live streaming? Yes, it keeps me working actually. The truth is, I wouldn't be working faster if I didn't stream. We have a yellow Christmas light in our sketch. Why is that? Review warning. Sketch plane is lost. Classic. Redefine sketch plane. Okay, bro, this is classic. So let's redefine to this one. No. I'm just gonna try something stupid. I'm just gonna lock all of them and then redefine sketch plane. I don't think it will work. No. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take up what we actually used to project that shape. From the old design. And I'm gonna redefine sketch plane. I'm gonna put it on this one. Why did it work now? So now it worked without explanation. Look, we've reached the end of the timeline. Constraint to bottom plane, not top. Frogs, I'm too poor to donate, but you should enable super chat so people can pay you to tell you important stuff. Mew, thank you for suggesting. I feel slightly uncomfortable with the super chat system. I've been thinking about it. I'm seeing it's a big revenue for a lot of channels. I don't want to sound like too activistic, but I would never. I think it's super nice that everyone's voice can be heard equally well, and I would feel very I would feel that I would need to pay a lot of attention to the super chats. I've been thinking about it. If people really want to tip with a super chat, perhaps you could like enable it at the end of the live stream, like a street musician that goes around with a hat. So not more like to get the message up. More of a I've been thinking about it. Thank you for the suggestions. I'm seeing like on NASA. I'm watching NASA spaceflight streams a lot, and their super chats are absolutely crazy, and people love the system. People just love to be able to say thanks for the stream and stuff. I have so many patrons. I'm so fortunate already. So yeah, perhaps perhaps I'm going to enable it in some way, but I have to think more about it. But thank you for telling me there is a function for it. Okay, so now we are going to go to the really important parts. So I'm done with everything. I'm still not happy with the line on top of the designs, but I'm not gonna torture you with more aesthetics. What? AMR Alpha. If you go to settings on your Mac, then accessibility, then zoom, you can turn on zoom on your cursor. Then you don't have to use your stream program, just use mouse and control scroll. Are you for real? Now I want to have a super chat. If you are for real, AMR RFAA, you don't know how much I've been dreaming about this. Is this true? Maybe it doesn't work with Fusion 360. Now you're getting my hopes up, because if this is true, you just made my day. System preferences. Accessibility. Zoom. I'm not feigning overreaction. Use keyboard shortcuts to zoom. Oh, I love Macintosh. Zoom style. Toggle zoom. Alt bullet 8. It works. It works. Ah. Wait. Now I'm showing you things I don't want to show you. Go back. Brilliant. I think I only showed you the chat. Hang on. Okay, you got me excited. Alt Shift 8. Maybe it's only working in it's only working in the system. No, it's working here as well. Woohoo! But is it zooming on the cursor? Oh, it is. I can't thank you enough for writing this to me. I need to, I don't know if I can, advanced, smooth, restore, controls. Wow, maximum zoom, there's a lot of settings. Are you seeing this? Hold to temporarily toggle zoom. Absolutely. Okay, I need to set this up because this is so amazing. Is that a control? Oh, this is brilliant. My two. Oh yes. Oh yes. Okay. The duga. This is going to be the live streams from now. Woo! Maximum zoom. Set range. To adjust zoom window. What am I showing you? This is brilliant. Full screen and picture in picture. But it doesn't go around with my mouse pointer. Hold to temporarily detach zoom. Use keyboard. Maximum zoom. That's not activated. To temporarily. Continuously with pointer. Oh, look at this. Look at this. There we have it. There we have it. Restore flash screen when notification. Follow keyboard focus. Oh, near. Oh, is this smoother? When zoomed in, the screen image moves only when the pointer reaches an edge. I sound so amazed, right? I mentioned, this is the backstory around what we're doing now, is that on the stream yesterday I mentioned there's a Python code for OBS that lets you do this that is not compatible with Apple, but Apple is just nailing this. I can zoom on the timeline, zoom everywhere, but I just wanted to zoom a little bit more. These, I don't see a difference. Okay, we're gonna leave it like that for now. Zoom style. Split screen. Okay. Enable hover text. Like yesterday's live stream, you showed me pipe in pipe command, which was revolutionizing for the CAD. And today AMR, AFRAA, I think your username was. Is it translating though? Yeah, it is translating. Am I still in the picture? Yes, I am. Oh, that looks great. I have to learn how to use this. So basically, when you video edit, cropping is so important. Oh, I totally got blown away by this, and I need to get back to the CADing. Kevin the Wilder, Martin, focus on the job in hand. You're right. Also, my job is to learn how to make nice streams, and I think, for example, now I will be able to show you like the menus in a much nicer way. Like this hole here. So the job at hand is also to learn how to make a live stream, but point taken. Let's go back to the CAD. So what I said in the video yesterday was actually, I think, kind of a breakthrough. So we're going to remove 3mm of this plywood over here. I'm going to break link in this design. Actually, why should I? Can I copy this and paste new? Copy, paste new. Yes, I want to do that. So I'm just fixing this marble shuttle. No. Sorry, I got carried away. I'm back at it now. So this is the marble shuttle. And if we're looking at this sketch, I'm gonna take away perspective to go to orthographic. So this is what I talked about yesterday that I think is the big breakthrough. So I'm going to remove material on the top of the shuttle, and that is going to make the marbles fall down to the lowest pressure point. If you're following why I'm doing that solution, I think you will agree how nice it is. So I'm creating a sketch on the side of the body, which goes against my practices, but let's focus on the job. I'm just going to do, I want this as well, because I want to start in the middle of the I'm gonna put a point in the middle of the circle, and then we are going to do a line. We did a line, everyone. This line is gonna be 3 millimeters from the top, because that's what happened now. And then I just want to make a nice actually kind of use a spline here, or I can actually, you know what, I can actually fillet that. Let's just do that. That's okay. Cutting away. Cut. 3 millimeters away. We did it. We did it. So let me do this sketch a little bit nicer. So we don't have to use a fillet command. Like that. So now we have removed 3 millimeters there. We also need to redesign the holder pieces, because this, wait, I'm going to show you. So now we're really deep in the live stream where I'm just talking loud and staring blankly at the screen again, which is why you're all here to witness this slow moving progress. But I am actually very, very, very happy to spend time on this part, because I do know that if I can nail this, it will unlock so much. So now we have a much too big gap between all these pieces, and the top of the marble gate is 4.5. So we want to move the lower parts of, we want to move this lower edge down 3 millimeters as well to correspond, because I want 1.5 millimeter distance there. Don't do it. You're pushing the marbles back now. No. Ah, there. If you mean there, you are eagle-eyed again. I'm never gonna go against the chat, because it seems like your eyes are elf sharp. You can just make a groove instead of remove a whole layer. Mauro Speciale. Wow, that is a little interesting. The groove diameter needs to be larger than the than the marbles. I'm just going to look quickly at your suggestion, because my fear... But it's interesting. That would kind of center the gate, give it more control, by the marble like kind of like pushing it down in the center. So 14.25. I'm just gonna sketch your suggestion from the side here. So this is the... What are you seeing? You're seeing this. 14.25. This is the width of the thing. And we want the groove to be bigger than 15.875. Yeah. Maybe no, because we want it 3 millimeter deep. So I think this is the issue. So say I make it 17. Yeah, it does work actually. Am I machining? Ah, no, I'm not machining that piece from that side. Well, then I have another problem. Because now I have to. Anyway, since I made a cutout. One thing leading to another. First of all, I'm gonna remove this pushing back that someone pointed out. Because we do not want that. So that is fixed. Ah yeah, so now I actually need to machine this piece. It's a double-sided machining again. That's unfortunate. The groove won't help with that. Frogs. I saw Martin on and I had to watch 2,600 people can't be wrong. He's a CAD teacher. I think what I'm teaching is like... It's more like stone sculpture. Like... very, very slowly chiseling out a sculpture from stone. And you get there one day, hopefully. I also see that we have some interference here, which is interesting. I didn't see that before. I think there's a package coming. Hang on, I'm just gonna get a package. Wilson, can you take care of the stream? No. It sorted itself out. Okay. So bad news. I didn't think of that before. We have a double-sided machining piece. Now I'm thinking about how to avoid that. Marcus Andersson. Martin, what is the purpose of the side windows? Won't they be hidden by the other modules? On vibraphone, for example, many will be hidden by other modules, but not the last one. And on the drums, you will see almost all the windows. So for some modules, they will be a little in vain or a lot, but on some it will be awesome. Okay, I have to regroup and think. So I think for now I'm going to accept the double-sided machining. But then still remains the question if we want to make it a groove or not. And I kind of want this whole surface to be able to hit this whole surface. a groove would kind of make the part more vulnerable. But it was a cool idea. It's already hit. No, I'm not going to make the groove. I'm going to keep it simple. And now we're gonna lower this ceiling on the back side. So let's get back to the initial sketch and hope that we're not breaking things. Or perhaps I'm going to cheat by adding it. No, I should try to do it properly by changing this from the beginning with the risk of breaking things. Oh, I don't feel like it. What is that line? Okay, I'm going to do it properly anyway. I'm rolling back. This is a little bit scary. Gonna copy this line, move it down 3 millimeters. It is actually not scary, it is just that when we did this before, everything started to break. So you can see now how I chose to extrude more of that piece. And let's just walk the timeline forward. Here is something broken. Review warning. Compute failed. Failed to solve. Coincident. That looks right though. Or does it? Yeah, this actually looks right. I think we are good. And those follows nicely. They follow really neatly. Yes, things are working. Now we just have to oh, now this is breaking. Okay. So I don't think it's only me who have the problem with things breaking when you iterate in a timeline. That looks ugly. I have to fix this sketch. Can't you just solve the entire piece 3 millimeter lower? That will solve the double-sided machining problem. You're absolutely right. I kind of like that the marble was... I was thinking that the marble... No, I can't, because the marble will stick up, and I need a roof to touch this piece, and there will be no room for the marble. So the marble would get stuck. That was the reason why I can't do that. So I'm just fighting with the breaking of my sketches again here. This is probably the most boring thing to watch in the live stream, but I kind of like to show you what I'm doing. Let's see. That part should be filled in, right? Or maybe not. Yeah, it should. So on this extrude, I want to fill in this little rectangle. Ugly. Let's accept that little ugly rectangle for now and see what is going on here. This is okay. Oh, it's that thing. It's too high now, of course. This one. I'm sorry for being very slow in this step. It's just that I'm just very slow. So here you can see it was stupid of me to not project this line. Then this wouldn't have been broken. I'm gonna project a new line for this cutaway, and then we're gonna redo the extrusion feature and remove that area. This starts to look correct. Oh, now I see. I'm blind. Why is all this extruded? I am blind. We need to cut this off. Or this off. Yeah, I didn't do this well. Now I see. I didn't project this totally good. That's why we are now suffering. When you're not doing it right from the beginning, you will spend time later trying the patience of your live stream audience. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this right then, since I'm here and talking about it. This sketch. Why don't you allow me to make a fillet there? Gonna do ugly methods. Sorry. Look, now it works. Now I fixed it. Kind of. Yes. Apart from one thing, this ugly thing sticking out there. Oh, but that's gonna be removed soon, I think, in the timeline. The combine feature doesn't take care of that little. You see, we have this little ugly thing here. That's its own body now. Sorry, I'm doing it ugly, but now it's fixed. Now I think we're Now I think it works. Going to the end of the timeline, and now our marble gate should line up correctly with the top of that window there. So this took a little time, but I got there. So this should be 1.5 millimeter now. Yes, works. So the reason I can't cut the whole thing is that I want this to be close to this, if that makes sense. Matthias Reik, thinking outside the box. Why not change the pulley that grabs the marble so you avoid the gap? When the pulley moves it, losing first the gap and then only grabs before pulling the marble. I don't follow completely. Taste from beers. I see a little yellow Christmas light still. Let's fix that. Review warning. Compute failed. There is a coincidence that has kind of gone. Yes, fixed it. We also have a little yellow Christmas light here. What feature is that? Edit feature. Let's look at all the parts. Unisolate all. I can't even see where the fillet is. I'm gonna hide all the sketches. Find in window. So I don't know where this is, but it says find in browser. Is it an internal fillets? For some reason, this part, I'm gonna delete this one. I don't know where it is. This part has been really, really challenging to CAD. I don't know what it is with this part. I have so many things I'm thinking about in the same time, trying to find the compromises, and I really want it to work. But now I think we're all good. Oh, it's ugly here still. There's some ugliness here. Actually, I think we're done. I think the part is done. Just want to address some ugliness that I saw. Or was that optical illusion? No. It's not. The fillet is. Okay, I'm blind. The fillet is on the wrong side of the mirror command. So again, let me try to zoom in. I don't see the stream when I'm zooming. This fillet sits on the wrong side of the mirror command. That's all. There we go. I'm getting a little bit blinded. Sometimes I'm getting a little nervous CADing in front of you, and when I don't see something, it's like not seeing a chess move. You're like, oh, come on, you have to see it, and then you get blind. Missing fillets on the back. You mean up here? That could have been it, actually. Let's do some fillets. I'm gonna do it as a feature, not in the sketch. Let's do 4. perhaps. Maybe that looks ugly with a holder. Yeah, that's too much. I'm just gonna do a wood fray fillet, like 1 millimeter. 2. That's gonna look good. Martin Deniad. Hi, Martin. Marin Deniad. Sorry. I read what I wanted to read. Actually, I think this one should be filleted as well, too. Look at that. Looks cleaner and cleaner. XX, where are the flamethrower mounts? Flamethrower is going to go somewhere. Yeah, it's true. We don't have that. It's a shame. Let's hide the origin and just stare at our beautiful gate. You all have been with me through this journey. I think it's done for CNC machining. Still need to slant the PMMA entrances. What do you mean? You mean fillet? Tack för att du förgyller min dag, Martin. Tack. 3D print part. This part is getting closer and closer to a design that could and should be 3D printed. I am starting to agree with that since we're using 10 plywood parts. I'm not gonna head over to that yet. I don't actually know how simple it would be to 3D print this. My own little excursions in 3D printing ended not so well because I didn't really have the time to learn about material. I started with a very difficult material, which was stupid. Slant the bottom funnels. Send it, mate. Come back with new data, just like SpaceX from Josh. Send it. Light the candle. Yeah, I think you're right, Josh. I think no, I see something we have to do. So this is a little surprising, but yes, this is crucial. We need 3 screws here because this whole top part is now only held with 1 screw and can tilt. I almost forgot. So let's do 1 screw and 1 screw. Send it, mate. Just like SpaceX. I love it. Come back with new data. It is good. I'm getting so slow when I'm close to finishing something. It's maybe that I'm like basking in the glory of actually being done too long. Let's try 6. No, 7 looks okay. I'm just randomly placing these screws. Oh, this one should be moved actually. That looks right. So now if we go back to the first extrude, I'm gonna deselect these circles that we just made, and those holes should transfer to all pieces. What is happening in here? This is not going really well. Yikes. Okay, I just have to edit this extrusion feature. And select those on the middle part. Maybe that gets us home and dry. Let's open up and see. Yes, okay, that's better. Only issue now is that I want these holes to be larger on the inside because I want 4mm through holes. So I have to go and fix that. Thanks for hanging out with me here on this slow moving progress. As I mentioned earlier, it's been a very difficult part to CAD for some reason. So cutting larger holes for the through holes. Oh, also on the side here. Also up here, I need to cut them larger, and down here, larger. So I'm doing this so the threads from the screw isn't biting in the middle pieces. Then we have a nice sandwich. Now I think we're done. It's like climbing Mount Everest, you know, you get depressed right after. It's like, of course, we didn't cut it on the CNC yet. Does Fusion 360 have a dark mode? I don't think so. I can add a negative filter in OBS. Matthew Tyler, your perseverance is an inspiration to us all. Thank you. I thank you so much. Me and Hannes talked about what the videos are actually about, and the videos are actually not about CAD or plywood or music. It's actually about fighting for a dream or like striving towards a goal. And we hope that by showing all this grunt work, I hope we are like providing a more accurate image of what it is I'm trying to do. A lot of my grind work is like self-inflicted because I have some naive ideas, and some of it is just because I'm doing something that has never been done before. I'm feeling super, super excited for this part though. Should we make it all yellow just for that plywood vibe? Perhaps we should make the pipes acrylic though. Save. I'm actually going to save this as a new version. Martin, the marbles have the wrong endpoint for dropping. The last section of the marble pipe needs a new vector to adjust for the extra length, or the marbles will jam. From Charlotte. The marbles have the wrong endpoint for dropping. Perhaps you mean the sketch where it looks strange because of the front perspective. Not following exactly what you meant. If you mean in this sketch, this is strangely enough supposed to interact with each other like that. Okay. I'm going to save this as a new version, and then I'm going to start to lay it out and make the toolpaths for the CNC machine. Miss Tess, hi Wintergatan. I love that you do live streams now when you're working on the computer. Thank you. It's for a very selfish reason. I'm learning so much from the chat, and it also actually helps me focus. Clean V3. So it's my pleasure actually. I think it's so fun. It's you keep me company in the end of this journey. It's like Sam carrying Frodo up the hill. So thank you. Okay, let's start laying them out for CNC machining. I'm going to cheat on this part, and I'm going to reuse the old shuttles and just recut them. So I'm actually going to ignore the shuttle for now, which makes things a little bit easier. And we're going to use the manufacturing model new function, new-ish function. I'm waiting a lot on Fusion. Okay, let's regroup for some CNC machining. Time to spam. Your 3mm drop extended the marble path further to the center, misaligning it with the gate. I think it's not true. I think I can be wrong, but as long as nothing moved here. So the marbles were always meant. The sketch was always meant to this line. So dropping the 3mm has not shifted the marble positions at all. So I think we're good. The only thing that makes me a little bit worried is that this whole sketch is green and unconstrained now. That's not the best sign. That's actually a quite bad sign. But I think it's good. Let's just double check. No, I think it's good. I think the 3mm drop is kind of fooling you. It's not. Other axis. You've added more material to the dropper part, pushing the BB marbles closer to the center. Ah, the other axis. Yes, 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 you are right. Again. You are right. Again, other axis. Look at this. I see what you mean. Thank you, chat. You are right again. Oh, those fillets are also wrong. Okay, we are not ready for the CNC machining. You are right again. That's why I should have done it cheating. You're absolutely right again. Center marble path. So basically from here, we actually don't want to pipe, we just want it to go straight down. Super, super good point, everyone. I missed it. Okay, happily this one hasn't moved, so it's easy to fix. But how? But how? But how? But how? Perhaps just not having the drop go all the way forward. Perhaps it's that easy. Perhaps it's that easy. I'm so impressed with how well you see all these things. It's always surprising. Like I read the chat, I think it was from Charlotte, the first one. I'm read a chat and think like, nah, you probably have not seen it correctly. And it so often turns out you have seen it absolutely spot on. So my plan now is to just not bring in this corner. I should probably take away much more. Wait, let me do that. Let me do that. Wrong sketch. The devil is definitely in the details, right? So I'm removing this add-on. Let's see how the timeline survives. So far so good. Yeah, so now, look. Now the plywood stops at the height, which means the marbles are at the correct drop point with like this circle. They're not pushing towards the center. You guys saved me again. But there's a fillet that is gone. So does it look right on the other side? Yeah, much better. Thank you. I'm having 2,700 quality controllers. That's brilliant. So now I have a red fillet again, and I don't know on what body. Apparently on this one. I'm gonna isolate. This looks horrible, of course. Should fix that. Ooh, what is this ugliness? Now I start to get... Now I'm start to freak out a little bit. What is this ugliness? This makes me think that our path has moved. The sketch that all of a sudden wasn't constrained anymore. You see there's a nasty ridge there. But this is a strange... Maybe it's just an extrusion feature that shouldn't be here. Maybe we're good. Combine. Fillet. It's okay. Nothing happens. Here. What is this feature? Ah, it's a remainder. It's an extrusion feature. That is probably a leftover, I think. Whoa, yikes. That scared me. I just hope I'm right about that. Probably this can be encouraging for a lot of CAD designers, because I know a lot of you, when you start to learn this, you're like, what is this happening? How should I do this? We're all going through this like grind of feeling stupid. I'm gonna go here, and I'm just gonna hit the green padlock on all this. It's very beginnerish, but it might save us from further heartaches. Oh wow, I see warnings. The arm will not sit flush with the dropper as it has a fillet on the inside. You called it out as a problem and forgot to fix it. Okay, yeah, the fillet there, you're right. So basically, yes, I called it out. You're absolutely right. It's... Oh, we can fillet that edge because of the way we're machining. Nice. We can actually fix that. Let me show everyone what we're talking about. And I had in my mind that I had to sand it after the CNCing, but we don't have to because we're machining this from the side. So inside this corner here, these parts are interfering. You can see how this blue plane is cutting through the corner there. But thanks to the fact that we are machining this from the side, we can actually make a fillet. Let's just check the radius on this. That has a 5mm radius. So let's go to before the mirror part. Here. And let's isolate this part. Let's try to add a 5mm fillet like that. Then with the tool bit, there's gonna be some other fillets. No, I can cut that pretty nicely, yes. And let's head back and let's see if the interference is solved. It is really helpful. Chat is really helpful. Thank you, everyone. Look at that. The parts are not touching each other anymore. How nice. So thank you for that. I'm gonna unisolate all. It's ugly with a yellow marble. I'm gonna hide it. It looks horrible. You forgot to make the fillet in the marble path seem the same on the different parts. One part is 0.5, another is 1mm. Datum Tariq, you're absolutely right. We're gonna fix that. I'm gonna find the fillets. These fillets, edit feature, 0.5. Let's do all of them 0.5. These fillets, 1.5. Oh, you meant that the other one actually. Ah, I can hand sand that. I'm gonna do 0.5 on everything. These fillets, 1. Yeah, that's really ugly actually. Thanks for pushing me to fix that. Good. We have 0.5 on all the fillets. Thank you. Hey Martin, I'm a chess coach. Where is a chess coach? I want to do a live stream with a chess coach so everyone can learn. Tom Ivar. Hey Martin, I'm a chess coach. Yeah. I offer you my services anytime. We could have a chess lesson over Discord. It would take 3/4 to 2 hours, depending on how long you want the lesson to be. Tom Ivar. Because I love to watch chess streams, and I think it's a little ridiculous for me to make a chess stream. Have you seen the Bakai Mitai meme? I'm gonna post it in chat. I apologize for the intervention here. But it helps me to have some fun as well. Here's the Baka Mitai meme I just posted. Where is the chess coach? Can I search in the chat? Tom Ivar. So Tom. Anna Chervinsky. Hey Wintergatan. I'm a teacher who introduced the engineering process to my kids by showing them your process videos. Now some of them are super invested. I've been here since the start, huh? Thank you, Anna. That's lovely to hear. Very good lesson for the kids. Tom Ivar. Hey Martin, I'm a chess coach. I offer you my services anytime. So I would like to do like a fun chess stream. So I could actually challenge viewers. We could make it super fun. So what we could do is that the viewers could challenge me, so I'm playing a real game, and then after the game, you can kind of like short 3 or 5, and then maybe you can. Oh, you're the teacher. You know how to put it up, and I'm thinking about how to make it entertaining. Then everyone can learn from you if we can do it on a live stream. I know no openings, and I will love. I'm like 600. I'm playing when I'm tired. I can never get to 700. If you can take me to 700, that will be amazing. So Tom Ivar, can you email the management? I think the email address is on the website, and just say hi, and we can set up a chess live stream up together. That would be so fun. I'm gonna tell the management that we are expecting an email from Tom Ivar. Thank you so much for offering. I think the chess has become so popular, and if we can make like have fun and make fun chess content like on a Saturday, I would not be able to do it on a weekday because I would get too much. People would be disappointed if I played chess instead of building on the Martinex, so it has to be a Saturday, I think. Jonas Sessions. Hey Martin, can we get an interference check of all the parts? It is under inspect and interference when all parts are selected. Very good idea, because I think we're just ready to go over to manufacturing. And this is actually not something that I usually do. So again, you're suggesting something good. Inspect, interference. And then I'm going to select the whole thing. And I'm going to say okay. I never did this. Compute. Show all. Wow, this is cool. So can we walk through it like this? Yes, we can. So show all interferences. What does this mean? I don't understand the colors. I'm not going to go too deep in this now. Should I click OK now? No, sorry. Inspect interference. Compute. Include coin select. Include coincident faces. Compute. Ah, this maybe looks more useful. So now we are seeing all the parts when the part are the places where the parts are touching. This is actually a super cool visualization of how this design is built up. Can I scroll through them? Add a screw to hold bottom back piece. Yes, we're gonna talk about the screws. Okay, this was a super cool suggestion. I don't... maybe this is like... maybe the result just tells us that the parts are fine. Because it looks fine. Cool. So there's a suggestion to add a screw here. And we can't do that, unfortunately, because they're gonna come screws from the bottom here. Up in this leg. I wanted to have a screw in this corner, which I think is what you're suggesting. And basically, it will collide with how this is screwed onto the base from below. So unfortunately, we can't do that. This piece is going to be wood glued to only one of the parts, this part as well. Wood glue is so strong in this case, it never breaks. But I'm actually a little sad myself that we can't have a screw there, because it would look right. Display settings, environment, dark sky. You want to have dark mode? Display, environment, dark sky. Ah, this is what you want. Is that nicer? House games, it never breaks. Famous last words. Yeah. Dark mode. Now we need some like retrowave synth for the stream. This is gonna be so... This looks terrible. This is so much nicer. So gentle on it. It's not so good. I'm sorry. I think the dark mode lovers are going to get a rough time because I can't really work like this. Wait, environment. Yeah, it's just easier to see. Okay, time to try to wrap this thing up by putting it on the CNC table. Because I think it's ready. It's like Josh said 2 hours ago. Think SpaceX, send it mate, and come back with new data. I think most things are good here actually now. So let's head over to manufacturing workspace. Fusion is thinking. Okay, I have a lot of old setups in here. I'm gonna delete them all. Delete. I have a manufacturing model already. I had problems when I deleted the manufacturing model before. You know, I think this is not going to be really entertaining now. I also need to go and get something to eat. I think I'm going to do this off stream. Because I hear I'm getting slower and slower in my comments. And could you play music in the background? PMA pipe should not arrive at 90 degrees stagnant marbles from Schinken. No, there is always pressure from the marble. They come from the... The problem is we have too much pressure at this point, so the marbles cannot ever stay there. No, eat with us. Brain.exe stopped working. Yeah, I hear myself being slower and slower on the stream, so I think it's time to wrap it up for now. I'll be back very soon because I'm addicted to doing these streams. I'm learning so much from you. I think it's so fun, and we actually did it. What we have now, from what we had in the beginning of the stream, is brilliant. So I can't wait cutting this on the machine and trying it out. Don't know if I will be able to do it. I have some other meetings today that are important, so we'll see what I have time to do. So anyway, I'm going to have some food. I just want to thank everyone for brilliant suggestions. I'm just amazed that every time you're pointing something out and I'm listening, you've been like totally right several times. This is ugly. We can't leave the stream like this. We have to fill it at least something here. All of a sudden I saw this. We can't live like this. There we go. A nice end of this stream with a beautiful cheating fillet. So yeah, thank you everyone so much for being here. It's gonna come more live streams like this, other times of day and everything. We did the part, time for machining. It's gonna end up in a video soon. Have a wonderful day everyone. See you soon. And chess coach, send me an email. I'm so up for it. Bye.